A variable is a holder of information. By putting the information inside of a variable, we can easily reuse the information as many times as we need inside of the script. Parameters are simply variables that are only available inside of the function it is created within. That means that the information inside of these parameters can be used as many times as needed, but only within that specific function. The data type informs what type of information that specific variable is to hold. Now let's create a function with parameters. So we type the word function space and then the name we now create for this function, and then space and then a pair of curly brackets, and then inside of the curly brackets we create a new line with an indent, and then we type the word param and then create a parenthesis, and then we type each of the name we now create for our parameters on the inside of the parentheses. We then create the first parameter by creating braces and then typing the data type of the parameter inside of the braces, and then the name of the parameter on the outside of the braces. And if the function is to have more than one parameter, we simply add a comma and then a space, and then we repeat these steps. Still inside of the curly brackets, we create a new line with an indent, and then we type the commands that the function is to execute. To run the function, we type the name of the function underneath the function. And because this function has parameters, we have to add information for each of the parameters as we call the function. The information that we are adding to the parameters as we call the function is called arguments. There is one argument for each parameter. When we now run the script, we will see that this will be the output to the screen. We see that the function was called and that the information that was added to the parameters through the arguments was used in the commands inside of the function. The other way to add information to the parameters as we call the function is to put the information inside of variables and then use the variables as arguments when we call the function. We are now running the function again, but this time we are using the variables as arguments. As we now run the script, this will be the output to the screen. We see that the function was called and that the information inside of the variables was used as information in the parameters.